Everybody, welcome to EDUT 570. My name is Bill Selleck. I'll be with you for the next 8 weeks as your instructor. So, talk a little bit about myself, just a tiny bit, give you an overview of the course, what the beginning, middle, and end of it will look like, give you a very high level overview of most of the assignments, and then you're going to head over to the week 1 video. I'll be wearing the same outfit, and you'll hear from me some more specifically about week number 1. So, me, I'm Bill Selleck, he, him. My day job is Director of Technology at Hillbrook School. We're a K-12 school in San Jose and Los Gatos, Bay Area. This is year 10 for me at Hillbrook. All three of my kids go to that school in grades 3, 5, and 6. Before I was at Hillbrook, I was teaching elementary, so kindergarten, second grade, which is still my favorite grade, and then fourth and fifth grade music. And I've been doing ed tech graduate work as adjunct faculty for 15 years now at a variety of universities. And I have taught this course a number of times, and it's good stuff. I really like the pacing of this one, and we're going to get into that in just a moment. Actually, let's just get into that right now, shall we? So, reflective practice. It's. Have you read anything yet? I'll give you a very, very the elevator pitch. It's thinking about teaching, and then reflecting upon that, and through reflection, you'll become a better teacher. That's the course. There's a lot more to it. We're going to dig much deeper into that, but that's the idea. It's thinking about teaching, reflecting on your teaching, and it can really be that simple, but there's a lot of nuance, a lot of details, a lot of reading, and a lot of projects you're going to do about it to dig into it. For the videos, you're just going to be looking at me, because I'm assuming you can have me in one tab, either watch me or be scrolling through another tab. I'm not going to do the screen share where I'm teeny tiny, because you can look at all the things that I'm looking at. So I'm going to just go through the syllabus and mostly hit the assignments. I'm looking down here at my screen, not at my phone, using continuity mode to record. Make sure you look at our program learning outcomes, looking at the core values of the School of Education. There are amazing resources for you on Canvas. Make sure you take a look at those, particularly around the Writing Center. Make sure you look at, on the syllabus, the School of Ed, the MAED program course policies, particularly around late assignments. I need to stick to those, which means you are going to be sticking to those as well. It's pretty straightforward. If we look at required text, there's not a specific text for this course, which is great. You do have, as with all courses, APA 7th edition, so make sure you have access to that. There's also lots of great references and resources for you in Canvas. The Purdue OWL Online Writing Lab, I think is the acronym of that, has fantastic resources, as does ChatGPT, or really any generative AI, if you ever have questions about APA formatting for the 7th edition. Looking at, let's go kind of week to week with this. So you're always going to have some reading. There's always going to be a Christian message. There's almost always, I think there is always a discussion board. I'll let you know each week. Most times there's an assignment, and then we'll kind of look ahead at what that looks like. The big thing is you're going to be developing a personalized, reflective practice approach. This is assignment number 1. It's due at the end of week number 2. It sounds just like you would think it sounds like. After that, we're going to be coming up with an implementation plan for your personalized, reflective practice approach. Right, we're building on it. That's going to be due week number 3. Looking ahead, the next assignment is going to be number 3. It's a good idea to number them, right? The reflective practice implementation progress report. And in weeks 4 and 5, you're going to be doing the implementation. Week 5 is the progress report. Here's how the implementation is going. I'm going ahead now. You have a reflective practice presentation week number 7, right? So it's learning weeks 1, 2, and 3, implementation weeks 4 and 5. Week 6 and 7 are your reflective practice presentation, and then your big assignment for this course is not actually week 8. Week 8 is actually reflecting on it, right? That's perfect. You're reflecting upon the course, upon your presentations, upon your classmates' presentations. It's almost like a really generic story arc, right? It starts off kind of slow, gets big, there's the big thing, and then you have like the resolution at the end. Nearly every course I've ever taken, and most of the ones I've taught, everything tends to be due, like the big thing is due like the very last minute of the course. So like week 8, Friday, 11:59 p.m. is when the thing's due. And I'm not sure about you, but for me, once it was done, I don't know that I ever looked at it again. I certainly didn't reflect upon my submission in week 8. I was just like, done, check, what's next? Particularly if you have back-to-back courses. So this builds in. Week 7 is when the big assignments due, your big presentation around reflective practice, and week 8 is I don't know, it might sound too interesting and engaging to call it like a film festival, but you're basically going to watch each other's videos and comment on them. That's what week 8 looks like. Weeks 5, 6, 7, 8, there's some heavier reading, particularly weeks 6 and 7, where you're going to get into some reading around Dewey, how we think. Do you know John Dewey? Do you love his writing? It's still relevant many years later. It's dense, but it's amazing. So that's the course. As we look at kind of the scope of each week, you tend to have a discussion board each week. Your initial posts with an APA citation is due Wednesday by midnight, and then 2 thoughtful responses to classmates are due Sunday by midnight. Weekends on Sunday, all assignments are due Sunday by midnight, by 11:59 p.m., not by midnight. And then the course starts on Monday. New week starts on Monday. Please don't start anything or submit any. Well, you can look, but don't submit anything until Monday. Don't do those discussion board posts on Sunday. It's not, course hasn't started yet, although it will be open. Right, so it has like a Monday through Sunday night feel. What else do we have? The Writing Center is a great resource. Make sure you give yourself plenty of time for that. If you want to get some feedback with that, make sure you're looking at the late policies. And that's the big thing. Yeah, I think it's time to head over to week 1. Take a listen at what your first week is going to entail. I think the last thing, and you're going to see this each week, I was going to talk about it in the week 1 video, I'll also do that, is you're going to have a weekly response on Flip. Microsoft Flip used to be called Flipgrid. Make sure to do that each week. The way it's built in with the gradebook is the grade doesn't show up until the course is over, so at the end of week 8. So it's basically just like nothing, and it's due the last week. But if you're not doing that weekly reflection, which is almost always in response to your readings, you're going to miss out on a lot of points. I think it's 30 points out of 300. So be sure and do that. So with that, head over to week 1 and welcome to the course.